today's session we're going to be not so much focusing, but we're going to be doing quite a few poses for our feet. Obviously in yoga we're standing a lot, so we're using our feet all the time, but I want us to focus on our feet. We're going to do Malasana, or the Yogi Squat, and for that I'll show you briefly. So you stand, feet about hip width apart, and you come down and squat down, and what can happen is that our heels come off here. What you can do is get yourself 2 cushions to place those under your heels to make this pose a little more comfortable. Also, if you have yoga blocks, also for Malasana, if you have them ready. If you have 2, that's great. If you have 1, that's perfect. If you don't have 1 at all, maybe get yourself 1 really nice thick book. We might also be using a belt in our seated poses, in one of our seated poses. For that you can use a scarf. As always, move within what feels good for you, what feels good for your body. So if you have any problems with your feet, if you've got ankle issues, if you've got joint issues in your, like especially the big toe joint can be affected, then please don't do the poses or be very mindful. The same goes for any other poses. If you've got pain, come out of the pose. If you don't like a pose, don't do it or replace it with something else. And other than that, that's it, and I hope you have fun in the class. Today's class is focusing, not necessarily focusing, but I want us to be more mindful of our feet. And there's a few poses that are very, like a bit more focused on the feet. And obviously in yoga we stand a lot, we are using our feet. So you can't be necessarily, no yoga class doesn't do feet. But one pose that I want us to do, for which we might be needing the cushions, is Malasana, or the Yogi Squat. So for that you want to sort of come down, and then your elbows press against your knees, and you sit here. And the thing that the blocks will be useful, because you could place the blocks under here, you could sit here if you're super wobbly, but also what can happen is that you come down and your heels will lift off the ground, and then you could use these thick blocks. Oh, I think there's Jack. I was just explaining to the others, so prop wise, if you have a yoga block or 2, or like a thick book, get those, maybe a belt or a towel or something. And also if you have maybe 2 thin cushions. And I was just showing them. So we're going to be focusing on our feet, or doing a few poses for our feet and toes and stuff. And there's the Yogi Squat, where you can get down like this, and you will squat quite low, and what can happen is that you topple over, and that's obviously fine. But what quite a few people, or what can happen, is that your heels will come off the mat, and those thick blocks, depending on how much space there is between your heels and the mat, can be a bit too thick. So then a little cushion is quite good, or you could just roll up your mat as well, so you don't need a cushion. But yeah, so a little bit something different. And we're going to start on our back, lying on our back, and our feet are on the floor. Our knees are bent, and knees are hip width apart, feet are hip width apart. And already having that connection to the ground with your feet, maybe lifting all your toes off the mat here and lowering them down to really have that connection with the ground. You can place your hands, either your arms by the side of you, palms facing up, or if you want, you could place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart, or just on your sternum, to feel your breath. That's quite nice. Let's close our eyes here and breathe in and out. Breathing in and out through the nose. Slowing down our breath, slowing down our mind as well. Just staying here, being present in our body at this moment, at every moment that comes, and trying not to think about the past or the future. Trying to relax our face, trying not to hold too much tension. Nice, smooth forehead. Trying to release the jaw as well. Breathing into our lungs, breathing into our abdomen, trying not to have that shallow breath that we sometimes have where we just breathe into our chests. But we're breathing into our belly, we're slowing our breath down a little bit. We're using our lungs better, we're getting more air into our lungs and getting more oxygen in our body. Let's just stay here with this nice abdominal breath. If your hands are on your belly, and just stand on your heart, feel how with the inhale your abdomen expands like a balloon. And exhale, your abdomen sinks in. Belly button towards the spine. Inhale, your abdomen rises. Exhale, it sinks. And just breathe here in your own rhythm for a few moments in stillness and silence. Slowly coming back, bringing awareness back into the room. Maybe a deeper inhale to bring awareness back into your body. And exhale. And if you close your eyes, let's open them. Hello everyone. Let's bring our arms either side of our body. Let's stretch our legs out. Both legs are stretched out. And we're going to bring our right knee up into our body, and if you can place your hands around your shins, do that, or just gently place them on your knee if your hands are on your knee, very gently, and pulling your knee and your thigh into your body. And depending on how easy that is for you, you could also try and bring your forearm, the right forearm, around the shin, and then pull maybe on the forearm touch the forearm of your right forearm with your left hand, really pulling your leg in. Not too aggressively yet, it's very early, but just bringing our hips in and waking up our hip. One more breath here, wherever we are. And exhale. Inhale, let go of your knee, your shin, and exhale, stretching that right leg out. And now we're doing the same thing on the left, so we're bringing right leg is stretched out, left leg is coming in, and either placing gently our hands on our knee or our hands on our shin, and pulling our thigh into our body, aiming, obviously this is not necessarily going to happen, but aiming to bring your knee towards your armpit. And if you can, maybe bringing that left forearm around your shin, and placing your right hand on your left forearm and pulling in. Not too aggressively, just really feel how warm you are, what's feeling good right now. Inhale here, exhale. Inhale, let's let go of our knee, our leg, and exhale, let's stretch it out. And now let's bring both knees into the body and do the same thing on both legs. So let's have either have your hands on your on the knees, or maybe grabbing your hands around your shins and pulling in here. What I want you to do is try, if your lower back is coming off the mat quite a lot, try to focus to bring that lower back, that bony part of your lower back, into contact with the mat, so that you're not like a ladybug lying on its back, but you want to have more of a flat back here. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, let's let go of the arms, and exhale, let's place our feet down on the mat. Quickly. Yeah, great. Okay, we're going to do reclining pigeons. We've got our feet on the mat, and we're going to raise our right foot off the mat, crossing the right shin over the left knee. So the shin, or like just a bit beyond the ankle, the right ankle, is between our left knee and left hip. And you can either stay here if you already find this is quite a good glute stretch for you, or you could lift the left foot off the mat. You can stay here, or you could go through the gap between your legs with your right hand, and on the outside of the left leg with your left hand, and hold behind your left thigh. And maybe you could also hold around your left shin. But I think it's very early, so let's just stay with holding behind our thigh. It's one of the first poses we do, so we don't have to push ourselves too much yet. Breathing here. Last breath, inhale. Exhale. And inhale, we're releasing our hands if we were holding behind our thigh. And exhale, placing the foot down and releasing the right leg back, the right foot back to the ground. Other side. Right leg is bent, left foot is coming off the ground, and we're crossing over so that the left shin is between the right knee and the hip on the thigh. We can stay here. We can lift our foot, the right foot, off the mat. If we want to go a bit further, we can go between our legs and with the right arm along the outside of the leg and grab behind our thigh. And wherever we are, we're going to stay here for a few moments. Just waking up our hips, our glutes, our legs. Okay, and inhale, exhale, letting go of everything. Placing the feet down. And now we're going to let our knees fall out, and we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. So we're coming into a reclining cobbler pose. You can place your hands wherever you like. Then you place them on your hips, your belly, next to your body. And we're just going to stay here briefly. If you find this really uncomfortable, if you're really letting gravity do its thing, if you find that a bit too intense on your hip joints for the moment, you can just engage your muscles a little bit to sort of lift your legs up a little bit to take that stretch out. And again here, the soles of our feet are touching, so maybe feel into your feet. So one more breath here. Inhale, exhale. And the next inhale, let's bring up gently our knees together again. And now I want us to do reclining pigeon. Not reclining pigeon, sorry, we did that already. Reclining eagle, Garudasana. It is very early, so don't try and push yourself too much. So we're going to, just show you from the other side so you can quickly see it. So we're lying on our back, and we're going to lift our right leg up, and we're going to cross, the left leg is bent as well. We're going to cross our right thigh over the left thigh. Now our right foot is sort of on the left, And if we can, and for that it's quite nice because we're not standing, we don't have to balance. Let's sort of flop a bit over to the left and see if we can shimmy our right foot around the left calf so that the toes are sort of poking out on the other side. If you can do that, great. If you can't do that, that's no problem at all. Just leave the right foot on the left. And we're just going to maybe, if we want, if it feels good, lift the left foot off the mat so that our legs are now lifted, and flexing the left foot. It's almost like you're standing in pigeon pose, in eagle pose, sorry, the wrong bird, eagle pose. And arms are just normal, they're either at the side of your body. It's quite nice as you could also bring your hands on the, just gently on the right knee. Just going to stay here for another breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, we're going to lower if you lifted your foot, the left foot off the mat, lower it down. And then exhale, let's untie and cross our legs. Lovely. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're lying on our backs, both knees are bent. We're going to lift our left leg off the foot off the floor now. We're going to cross our left thigh over the right. The left foot is on the right side now. And now shifting our weight a little bit to the right, we're going to see if we can snake that left foot so that it's poking out on the other side. If you can, then either staying maybe slightly lying on the right, sorry, or maybe lifting your feet off the ground, flat back, right foot is flexed as if we're standing. And you can bring your hands on your tummy or your knee. Stay here for one breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, bring the feet to the ground. And exhale, we're untying our feet. And let's just hug our knees into our chest for one moment to release this. Maybe rocking from side to side, massaging your lower back. And then coming to stillness. And yeah. Alright, we're coming to seated. You could either come to seated by first lying on your side and then sitting up, or if you want to rock a little bit back and forward, you could bring your hands behind your knees and engaging your core a little bit. Inhale the feet a little bit over your head, and exhale, we're rolling forward. Inhale, we're rolling back, and exhale, coming to seated. Lovely. So I know this was a little early for eagle practice, but we're going to be doing quite a few eagles today. Yay! So I thought it was good to get that one into the warm-up so that we are a little more prepared for what comes next. Okay, if you have a block, place that out in front of you, and we're going to come to kneeling. We're going to bring that block under our knees, and we're going to sit with our feet, our toes tucked, like this. And first, maybe the further forward your body weight is, the less weight is obviously on your feet, on your heels, and the more comfortable this is going to be. So just sit back, and you want to, if you can, bring your toes to touch, your big toes to touch, and maybe also your the inside, like the ankles to touch. And let's sit back here. I'm going to sit here for a moment. Don't have a stopwatch on me, unfortunately, but sit here as long as you find comfortable, and maybe a tiny bit longer than you find comfortable. There was a while when I did this every morning, but then I forgot and life happened. But obviously if you have problems with your toe joints, your ankles, be very mindful here. I think I really like this because you might be able to tell later in plank. I somehow feel that my plank is it feels more set because you're getting that stretch into your toe joints. And we run a lot, like some of us run, we walk sometimes when we get to places, sit a lot on our desks, and our feet is just, they're so, we neglect them. And if you want to feel for a moment what it feels like if you separate your heels and when you move them together, what the difference is. When you separate your heels, I find I get more contact with my little toe on the mat, and the stretch sort of moves out a little bit more. And if I bring my heels together, the stretch is much more in the big toe joint particularly. Okay, let's sit here for another 3, 2, and 1. And to come out, we rock forward, and we're coming off our block, and we're sitting on our heels again. So, I don't know how that was for you. I could definitely feel heat developing in my toes. And as I say, I think this is one of the ones, like, it's a sort of a love-hate relationship, that pose, because it feels like it should be, it's good, but it's also so unpleasant. It's a bit like pigeon for me. I find pigeon, no matter how often I do it, I find it so difficult. And now that we're kneeling, I want to do one other thing. So we're kneeling this, let's bring our hands just behind us, like in like sort of tenty hand situation. And let's see if we can rock back and lift our knees off the mat. Just gently, still looking forward, the neck doesn't have to fall back, we're just lifting our heels. And we're stretching now the back of our feet, or the tops of our feet, sorry. Staying for one more breath, and then just rocking forward. Nice. Okay, let's place our hands out in front of us, about shoulder width apart. Fingers are spread nice and wide, middle fingers pointing forward. And let's step back into a plank and immediately lift into an upward dog. Not upward dog, sorry, downward facing dog. What's wrong with me today? Downward facing dog, Ardha Malasana. Here, our feet are hip width apart, toes pointing forward. And in down dog, if you look at your feet and you see where your feet are, I don't actually know what the right word for it, because it's not necessarily flexed, but where your foot joint is sort of working and you can see your feet bending. I think working on our feet and our foot mobility will help the down dog as well, because the more flexible we are in our foot joint and our ankle, the more we can get into our down dog as well. So pressing into our hands, the whole hand, not just the ball of the hand, also the knuckles and the fingers. Shoulders are pulling away from the ears, shoulder blades pulling slightly apart. Nice flat back. If we need to bend our knees, it's early today, then bend your knees. And pulling the heels towards the ground, just to wake up those calves. Staying here for one breath. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. And let's gently now walk up with baby steps until our feet are behind our hands, about a foot length behind our hands. And let's just hang here for a moment. Feel that hamstring, that calf stretch. Inhale, exhale. Let's bend our knees, chin to chest, and let's roll up straight away here. Gently and slowly rolling up. Chin is lifting last off the chest. Lovely. And I want us to do a first gentle Malasana or Yoga Squat. And for that, just showing you from the side here, obviously all our bodies are different, so I can just say how it feels to me, but the closer your feet are together, the more difficult it's going to be to come down quite low. And if you want to try this, bring your feet hip width apart or maybe just a little wider, and sit down and see how far down you can sit. Maybe you're quite mobile in your squat, but I find I can't really sit any deeper than this. Let's try to push up here. And now, let's walk our feet a little wider. And if your feet are about as wide as your mat, and your toes are pointing out a little bit, maybe the toes are off the mat and your heels are on the mat. And let's sit down now. Exactly, hands into prayer and sit down here. It's a lot easier. You're pressing your elbows into against your knees. We're trying to sit up nice and tall here, nice and tall. And if here, still your knees, your heels were to lift, that is where you could bring those cushions in, but we'll do that a little later. Stay here for one more breath, even if you're on your heels, that's on the balls of your feet, that's fine. Inhale, exhale, let's inhale, push into our feet and let's come up. Nice. Very nice. Okay, let's come to the front of our mat. We can start with one set of sun salutations. So if you want for Tadasana, you can have your feet hip width apart, or you can bring them together. But wherever we are, we're going to lift our toes off the mat, spread them wide, and then lower them one at a time. Little toe, fourth toe, middle toe, second toe, and big toe. And then lifting our heels and placing them down. That awareness of our feet. We always do this, but today we want to be extra aware of our feet. Okay, we're tucking our pelvis a little bit, we're engaging our perineum or pelvic floor, engaging our core. Nice firm middle. Inhale, we're rolling our shoulders up, back and down, looking forward. Someone's pulling us by the top of the head, standing nice and tall, but we're tucking our chin slightly. Lovely, everyone. Okay, and inhale, we're raising our hands up. Exhale, we're engaging our core and we're folding down with a flat back. Hands either side of the feet, maybe bending the knees a little bit. Inhale, half fold fold. Hands to shins, or maybe already fingertips to mat, depending on your body. Exhale, hands down, we're stepping back with the right foot, followed by the left foot into plank. And let's stay in plank for a moment and feel how your toes and your feet feel now that we've stretched our toe joints. Inhaling here, exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down now. We're sliding forward, we're untucking our toes, we're pointing our toes back like crazy. In our cobra, shoulders lifted, shoulder blades together, shoulders away from the ears, elbows into the body. Exhale, we're tucking the toes and we're pushing back into a downward facing dog. Maybe stepping the feet in a tiny bit. Feel that your down dog is a little long. Pressing into those hands, fingers nice and wide like starfish. And we're looking towards our big toes, we're engaging our core, sucking our belly button towards the spine. Breathing here. Lovely down dogs, guys. Okay, with the next inhale, we're stepping forward with the right foot, followed by the left foot. On the exhale, inhale, hands to shins or fingertips to mat for a half forward fold. Exhale, hands down, full forward fold, forehead towards our shins. Inhale, we're engaging our core and we're coming up flat back. Exhale, hands into heart center. Lovely. Okay, other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we're folding down. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins or fingertips to mat. Exhale, hands down, we're stepping back with the left foot, followed by the right foot, into a plank. Again, let's stay in plank for a moment. Plank, we're pulling our heels back to create a long, strong plank. And pressing into the ground, pulling our shoulder blades apart. Inhale, exhale, knees down. Chest down, chin down. 8-point pose. Our bottom is in the air. Inhale, we're sliding forward. We're untucking the toes, pointing the toes. Inhaling here. Exhale, we're tucking the toes again, pushing into a downward facing dog, Ardha Chandrasana. Stepping the feet in a little bit if we want. And pushing here. Pushing into our hands, pulling our heels down. Looking towards our toes. Breathing in and out through the nose. And with the next inhale, we're stepping our left foot in between our hands, followed by the right foot. On the exhale, inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins, or fingertips to mat. Exhale, full forward fold. And inhale, engaging our core, we're coming up. Exhale, hands into heart center. Lovely. We are going to do a flow where we flow from eagle pose. So we're going to start eagle pose, standing on the, let me try and think. Yeah, standing on the right. So we're bending our knees. And this is also one where I want you to just think about your feet. Because as we bend our knees, we don't just bend our knees and sit back. You want to rock forward a little bit. So the flexion here in your ankles is also really important for how easy eagle pose is going to be. That's why the foot stretches at the beginning were, I thought, quite important. So we're bending our knees, we're going to lift our left leg off the ground and cross the... Actually here, if you have a block, if you think you might be wobbly in your eagle, you can put a block on the outside of your right foot. So bending the feet, our knees, sorry. We're going to lift the left foot off the mat. And we're crossing the left thigh over the right. And if you have that block on the outside, you could rest your left toes on that block. If you want to see if you can maybe tuck those left toes around the right calf, that's fine. Let's stand here for 2 breaths wherever we are. Really nice, guys. Okay, and now we're going to untangle that left leg. I'm going to step back into a lunge. Let's grab our hands behind our back. So our fingers are interlaced. Inhale, we're reaching out, pulling our knuckles down, opening our chest to the ceiling. And exhale, we're folding down into humble warrior. Bring our arms overhead. Pulling our right shoulder towards or along the inside of our right knee. Now breathing here, stretching our shoulders and feeling our legs work. Inhale. Exhale. Stay for one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale, we're being pulled up by our hands and coming into standing, into a high lunge. And now hands are still held behind our back. We're turning our right toes in. So our feet are now pointing in and they're almost a bit pigeon toes. So they're pointing in towards each other. And inhale, we're again pulling our knuckles down to the ground. And exhale, we're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. And we're coming down here. Arms pulling down. Lovely, everyone. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Someone's pulling us by the hands again. We're coming up. We're letting go of those hands behind our back, pointing our right toes, the front leg, forward again, coming into a warrior 2. Inhale and exhale, cartwheeling our hands down and stepping into a plank. Inhale, in plank, and exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, we're sliding forward into cobra. Our toes are pulling back, our toes are pointing back. Exhale, we're tucking the toes, we're pushing into a down dog. At any point you want to take a break, come into a child's pose. Your down dog, pushing the ground away with our hands. We've just done a shoulder stretch as well, so maybe that helps us in our down dog. Our upper body is getting more nimble. And with the next inhale, we're stepping forward with the right. And as we come forward, we're lifting onto the back foot, the left. Let's see if we can bend the front knee, the right knee. See if we can cross our left thigh over our right here. And then come into an eagle pose from here. Nice. Well done challenging your balance. Let's stay for one breath. And exhale, let's come out. Nice, well done. Other side. So if you want again to have that block to balance your feet on, place a block on the left and let's bend feet together. Let's lift our toes off the ground, lowering them down. Let's bend our knees and also bend at our ankles without coming off our heels. And inhale, let's lift our right leg up, cross over, and either resting our toes on that block that has been next to our foot, or see if we can snake those right toes around our calf. And staying here with our hands on heart center. Inhale, exhale, stay for one more breath. Inhale, exhale. And we're stepping, now we're untangling our legs and we're stepping back with that right leg. Nice. We're going to grab our hands behind our back again. Fingers interlaced. If you wanted, you could do the other interlace, the one that feels a bit more awkward, changing it around. And we're pulling our knuckles down to the floor, opening our chest, the left leg, the front leg is bent. Inhale and exhale, we're folding down. Humble warrior on the left. The left shoulder is aiming to come towards the inside of that left knee. Lovely humble warriors, everyone. See if you can get the balls of your hands to stay in contact. No problem if you can't. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale, someone is pulling us by our hands and we're coming up. And change this around. We're stepping, we're unbending our front knee and we're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Toes are pointing in a tiny bit. And again, inhale, our knuckles are pulling down, our chest is moved, opening to the ceiling. Inhale and exhale, we're folding down here. Lovely, folding with a flat back. Staying here, breathing in and out through the nose, opening those shoulders. And with the next inhale, someone's pulling us by our hands and we're coming up. Lovely. And we're going to step forward. We're coming into warrior 1, 2. Inhale, bending that front knee again. And exhale, hands down, either side, stepping back into plank. Inhaling, exhaling into plank, very good. And inhale, exhale, coming down, knees, chest and chin. And now we're sliding forward into cobra. Our toes are pointing up again, and they're pulling us back. We're engaging by pointing the toes and pulling the toes back. We're engaging our back. Inhale and exhale, we're tucking the toes. We're pushing back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale here. Maybe stepping in a little bit. Okay, and with the next inhale, we're stepping the left foot forward. And we're going to try and do the same thing again. So as we're stepping forward, lifting up on the back leg, we're going to try and bend that left leg and see from here, from our half forward foot, we can cross over the right thigh and then coming up, seeing if we can get into eagle legs here. Challenging our balance. Amazing work, guys. One breath here. Inhale and exhale. We're already straightening that leg. We're coming out. Well done, really well done, especially with the stepping forward. It's a weird one. We are, no idea what the time is, let me have a quick look. Yeah, we've got time. Let's do that exact same thing again. So we're going to do normal sun salutation and then that same, so the last 2 sets of poses over again, so we know what's coming. Okay, so we're starting with normal sun salutation. Standing at the top of the mat, let's lift our feet, the toes off the mat, spreading them wide, lowering them one at a time. Lifting our heels off the mat and lowering down. Coming to Dasana, engaging the core, perineum, shoulders up, back down, steady. Coming into our mountain pose. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding down, full forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins, fingertips to mat. You can either step or you could jump into a plank. From plank, you can either come down knees, chest, chin, as we've been doing, or you could shift your weight forward a little bit and come down into a chaturanga. If you're in chaturanga, inhale and coming into an upward facing dog instead of a cobra. An upward facing dog, your feet are pointing back. Your weight is on the tops of your feet. Looking up. Exhale, we're rolling over our toes. Come into down dog, maybe stepping forward a little bit. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. If you ever want to take a break in child's pose, that is totally fine. If you jump back and you want to try jumping forward, that's bending our knees. Inhale and exhale, we're jumping forward, trying to bring our feet between our hands. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins or fingertips to mat. Exhale, full forward fold. Forward to shins, pulling our mat forward. Just trying to straighten our legs a little more, feeling that hamstring stretch. And inhale, engaging our core, we're coming up. Exhale, hands into heart center. One more time. If you want to step. If you want to try jumping. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, half forward fold. Fingertips to mat. Exhale, hands down. If you want to jump, bending the knees and jumping back into a plank. If you land halfway on your mat, fine. Just stepping back, totally fine. Stepping back into plank. Inhaling here. Exhale. Inhale, shift forward a bit if you want to do chaturanga. And exhale, we're bending our elbows. Inhale, we're sliding forward into an upward facing dog. Our toes are engaged. Everything's doing yoga. Exhale, we're pushing back into a downward facing dog. Maybe stepping our feet in a tiny bit. Okay, if you want to step forward, or if you want to try jumping, bend your knees, look forward, inhale, and exhale, try jump between your thumbs. Lovely, inhale, half forward fold, fingertips mat or hands to shins, and exhale, folding down. Inhale, engaging our core, and we're coming up with a flat back. And exhale, hands into heart center. Wonderful, well done. Okay, we're going to do a little eagle sequence again, but this time we're also going to do eagle arms. We're going to bend our knees and we're also bending at our ankles. Want to keep the entire foot in contact with the ground though, not lifting our heels off the mat. Inhale here, exhale. And let's lift our left leg off the ground, crossing it over. You could either, if you have that block on the outside of your right foot, you could rest your toes there, or you could see you can sniggle your left toes around your right calf. Ooh. Trying to hold the balance. And now we're going to touch our left shoulder with our right hand, cross our left elbow around the right elbow. We can either have the backs of our hand touching or bring the palms together. Ooh. I'm going to stay here for 2 breaths. Maybe lifting our arms up a little bit and pushing our elbows forward a little bit. Challenging our balance a lot more with the arms as well. It's okay if you fall out. I've been falling out a lot. Okay, now I'm going to release our feet. We're stepping back with the left foot into a lunge for a warrior. We're going to do a humble warrior with eagle arms now. Inhale and exhale, we're pulling down. Bringing our right shoulder imagining towards the inside of the right knee. And imagine you're trying to bring your forearms in contact with the ground, just pulling down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, we're engaging our core, we're coming up. Exhale at the top. Going to bring our right toes in so that our toes are pointing forward. We're still in eagle arms. Inhale and exhale, we're making that wide-legged forward fold with eagle arms. And again, imagine that you want to bring your forearms towards the ground. Doesn't work, that's fine. Just that imagination. Breathing here, feeling that stretch in the back of our legs. Okay, inhale, engaging our core and coming up. And let's come straight, point our right toes forward. Let's come straight away into an eagle again. Let's bend our front leg and let's see if we can step forward and come into an eagle pose again. Crossing our left leg over the right. Coming into our eagle for a second time. Standing here. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's let go. Whew. Well done, everyone. Let's move our shoulders. After that eagle pose, let's shake out. Definitely that right foot. Maybe that left one as well. Whew. Well done. Okay, let's do the other side. I'm going to do it from this side this time. Hopefully you can see me a bit better. Bring the mat a bit more parallel. Okay, so we're standing at the front of our mat. We're doing it on the left side this time. So we're going to be bending our knees and we're bending our ankles as well. If you want to use a block to balance your right toes on, put the block on the outside of your left foot. Okay, let's lift our right leg up, cross the right thigh over. Quite handy, I've got the wall near so I can use that to help me. And either rest your right toes on that block, that makes it really nice and steady, or see if by maybe bending a little bit deeper into that knee, you can snake your right toes around that left calf. Nice, everyone. And now we're going to touch our right shoulder with the left hand, cross the right inner elbow around the left elbow, and either bring the back of the hands together or the palms together. And standing here. Nice, everyone. Woo. And standing here for another moment. Okay, now let's untangle our legs and stepping back into that warrior two leg pose. Lovely. Inhale and exhale, we're folding down, humble warrior. Left shoulder towards the left knee. We're coming down. We also want to imagine now bringing our forearms to the ground. If they hit, fantastic, but I mean, I don't, and yours don't have to either. Just that imagination to pull down. Feeling our left leg work and starting to burn a bit. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now engaging our core and inhale, coming up. Lovely. We're bringing our left toes to point forward. Inhale, exhale here. And inhale, we're coming down into a wide-legged forward fold with eagle arms. And here again, imagining pulling our forearms towards the ground, stretching the backs of the legs, stretching our shoulders. Looking great, everyone. Okay, now engaging the core up, we're coming up on inhale. Okay, we're keeping our arms in eagle arms. We're pointing our left toes forward to the front of the mat again, bending that left leg, and we're stepping forward with the right. Going to see if we can come into eagle legs again for one more time. Last time in eagle. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale and exhale, let's release. Wow. Well done everyone. Let's release our shoulders if you want to. That feels good. Shoulders up and down. Let's shake that left leg out. Shake the right leg out. We're going to be coming to the floor now. We're going to move through Malasana. So if you think you might be needing your cushions to place under your heels, get them ready. Just show you how I would be doing that. So you can either do it already by getting your cushions, placing them under your heels, or maybe even rolling them up. Or 1 to 2 for a moment, you get your mat and just roll that up like that. And then just resting your heels on that roll up mat. If you want to give it a go without that, it's also fine, and there's always the opportunity, always the option to roll your mat up after or to get the cushions in a moment. And let's start out quite a wide stance. So we're standing on your mat, looking to the front edge of the mat. Let's place our feet so that the heels of our feet are on the mat and the toes are pointing out. So feet are a little bit pigeon-toed again. Inhale, exhale here, and inhale. Let's move down. Lovely. Yeah, wonderful. And we're placing our elbows or our upper arms against our inner knees, and we're standing here, and you're really pushing here, looking wonderful. Squatting is quite good for your, well, obviously we're working our legs and everything, but it's good for our entire body. If I think I heard somewhere that, sorry if this is a bit TMI, but or something you don't want to hear on a Sunday morning, but for our digestive system, the type of toilets that we have are actually not that great when our bowels don't move that well. And back through evolution and other cultures, they tend to go to the loo in a squatting position. Now that's actually a lot more conducive to movement of food through our body. So not that that's why we're doing this, but there's obviously benefits to our body from squatting. Okay, let's come up, inhale, and exhale, let's push into our feet and come up. Lovely. And now let's bring our feet, maybe if you want, in a little bit closer, so we can try and have a little bit closer stance. That might be a bit more challenging. Maybe bring our feet to point forward a little more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale, let's come down again and see what this is like. Whew. Maybe feeling a little bit more wobbly, but still trying to stand, have our chest nice and tall. That's the, and this is where, if you have a block, you could bring that under you. You could even just sit here, and that already works. And you will also feel that in Malasana, in the squat, also working your hip joints quite a lot. And you'll feel it in your lower leg muscles and your shins. Okay, one more time, we're going to come up. Inhale and exhale, we're pushing into our heels and we're coming up. If you put a block under you, like I just did, move that. And inhale, exhale, and inhale, we're coming down. One last time. If we're falling back, that's totally fine. Staying for 3 breaths. Really good. And at the end of your 3rd breath, just flop onto your bum. And we're coming to the floor. Really nice. And we're going to start, we're going to do Paschimottanasana, which is a seated forward fold. So if you want to have a belt, get your belt. But before we do that, we're going to do another thing for our feet, especially now after all our standing poses and Malasana. Just going to mobilize our ankles and just give them a little bit of love. So let's flex our toes. Hands can be by the side of your body, or maybe a little bit behind if you want to lean back a little bit, whatever's comfortable. You're flexing your feet, you're pointing your feet. Flexing your feet, pointing your feet. Like a ballerina, we're first flexing and now we're pointing like a ballerina. Flexing, pointing, flexing, pointing, flexing, pointing, and then just end in the middle. And now let's make circles with our feet. Maybe bring our feet a little wider. Bring our first circling in, relatively slowly, but not too slow. Whatever feels like a good speed to you. Just circling in. When we move forward, we're pointing our feet. When we're up, we're flexing. Lovely. One more this way. And then at the top, we're turning around. And we're making these circles again. At the top, we're flexing. Front, we're pointing. And one more circle this way. And then we're ending up with our feet sort of relaxed, point. And let's now spread our toes wide and then scrunch them together. Spread them wide and scrunch them together like you're trying to pick something up off the floor. Spread them wide, scrunch them together. I'm pretty sure scrunching is not a word. Stretch them wide and scrunching them again. And then release. Okay, great. We're going to do our forward folds. If you have your belt, you want to use it, bring your belt around the ball of your feet. You can sit here and fall forward like that. If you don't have a belt, that's totally fine. You can just grab your calves, your ankles, your feet. Sit tall. Inhale, we're sitting tall. Exhale, we're folding down, grabbing wherever we can grab. But wherever we're holding, we want to keep our chest open. So we don't want to touch our feet, and by doing that, our shoulders are touching our ears and our back is all, I don't know, like tense. We want to hold our feet, look forward, and have a nice open chest. Let's stay here. Lovely, everyone. Staying here for a few breaths. Looking at our big toes, drishti is our big toes. Focusing in this pose. Okay, inhale, we're lifting up, we're staying in contact with our feet, and exhale, let's let go. We're now going to bring the soles of our feet together. We're going to do our cobbler pose again, but it reclining. We're just going to hold our feet, fingers are around the backs of the feet, thumbs around the balls of the feet, opening our feet like pages of a book, sitting up nice and tall. Just sitting here for a moment. Lovely. Okay, sitting up and we're letting go of our feet and we're going to come onto our backs. Coming onto our backs. And we're going to be doing reclining pigeon like we did in our warm-up. So feet are on the floor, knees are bent. We can start with the right leg. We're lifting the right leg. We're crossing the right shin over the left thigh. We're going to either stay here if this is enough of stretch, or we're going to lift our left foot off the mat, stay here, or grab through with the right hand between our legs, left hand outside of the left leg, holding behind our thigh, or now maybe you're warm enough to hold around your shin. No problem, if not, just another option to go a little bit further with the stretch. If you're holding around wherever you are, make sure that you've got a flat back and that even your lower back is more or less in touch with the ground. And then pulling, if you're holding your shin, you can maybe try to pull your shin closer to your body to intensify that stretch a little more. And just breathing here for a few breaths, maybe closing your eyes if that feels good. But only doing what feels good to you. Okay. Now letting go of the interlace, if we're holding our leg, placing the left foot down, placing the right foot down, and now the other side. So lifting our left foot off the ground, crossing the left shin over the right thigh, and either staying here or lifting the right foot off the ground and staying here, or holding our leg behind the thigh, or holding around our shin, whatever feels good to you. And wherever we are, as I just said, making sure that you've got a nice flat back so that the whole back more or less is in touch with the ground. We don't want that lady back thing where your bum is off the ground too much. Obviously your bottom is off the ground, but your lower back is in touch with that. Just staying here for a few breaths, and again, if it feels good to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. Okay, and wherever we are, if you were holding your leg, let's let go. Placing that right foot down again, placing the left foot down again. Maybe let's hug in both our legs, our knees into the chest, and rock gently from side to side, just releasing that glute stretch, massaging our lower back, coming to center, placing our feet down again. Yeah, that feels a bit better. We are going to come into a bridge, just a gentle bridge, Malasana. So for that, we're going to have our feet on the floor, knees are bent, feet and knees are hip width apart, our arms are alongside our body, palms are touching the ground. And try and bring your feet as close as you can to your glutes. Maybe you can touch your heels with your fingers, maybe you can't, both fine. So here, inhale, exhale. The next inhale, we're tucking our pelvis, lifting our pelvis off the ground, lifting our lower middle back off the ground, upper back. And let's just stay here with both hands on the mat, palms on the mat. We're pushing into our feet to lift a little higher, hip to the ceiling, looking lovely, chest to the chin. Inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. On the next exhale, we're starting to come down. First bring our hips more in line with our body. Then we're going to roll through our back like a pearl necklace. Upper back, down, middle back, lower back, pelvis. Lovely. Let's do one more of these, but this time if you wanted, you could go a little bit further. So again, let's just make sure that our feet are close to our bum, feet are hip width apart, palms are into the ground to begin with. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, tucking our pelvis, and we're lifting our pelvis off the ground, lower back, middle back, upper back, pushing into our feet, hips to the ceiling, chest to chin. And now maybe we can reach and grab our hands under our back, interlacing them like we did with that first eagle sequence where you interlace them for our humble warrior. And if you're holding your hands, see if you can bring the balls of your hands together and maybe coming onto your shoulders a bit more. Still pushing them into the ground, pushing your hips up to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And let's let go of our hands on the inhale and exhale. We're gently rolling down, upper back, middle back, lower back, pelvis. Coming down here. Let's bring our knees into our body again, gently rocking from side to side. Nice. Bring our feet down to the mat. We're going to have one more pose before we go into final relaxation. And we're going to do our Reclining Eagle again. So we're starting with crossing the left over the right, left thigh over the right thigh, then maybe rolling onto our right a little bit and see if we can shimmy that left foot around our right calf. If we can, great. If we can't, also great. And either, actually let's do it this time. Let's flop our knees onto, so the left knee can fall, if it's comfortable for you, fall onto the right. So we're doing a twist here. Bring your left hand behind you, like on the left. Yeah. And just twist here. And you could bring your right hand either on your left glutes or your left knee. And let's just lie here. Your shoulder, your left shoulder is most certainly going to be lifted off the mat, but that's fine. Feeling that twist. And one more breath here. And let's roll it over a little bit. Bring our glutes on the mat again, and let's unravel our legs. Do the same thing on the other side. So crossing our right thigh over the left. We're going to roll over to the side a little bit, to the left side, to see if we can shimmy those right toes around your left calf. And now flopping out here, bringing your right knee in contact with the ground on the left. Right hand is on the ground on the right side. And maybe bringing your left hand on the right glutes or the right knee. Just lying here for a few moments. Slightly different twist. So twisting in all possible directions. A little bit. Okay, let's come back into the middle, come back onto our backs and unravel our legs. And let's stretch out our legs, lying on our back. Feet hip to mat width apart, feet falling out. Arms by the side of our body, palms facing up. Maybe bring our shoulder blades together a little bit. Palms about 3-4 inches, 15-20 centimeters from our waist. Closing the eyes, maybe tucking the chin a little bit, nice flat neck. Releasing our back. I sometimes feel that when I lie in Savasana, first I still have some tension and my back, especially sort of the middle back, is lifted off the mat. Just inhale and sigh on the exhale, let go of everything. And maybe feel how you're melting a bit more into the ground. And breathing here, breathing in and out through the nose. Letting go of any tension in your body. Nice smooth face, not clenching the jaw. Trying not to have your mind wander, but to think of what you're going to do later, what's coming next week. If you find it difficult to be present and not think about life, the world too much, try counting with your breath. 1 on the inhale and 2 on the exhale, and just repeat that. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Just see if that helps you to sort of stay present in yourself. Maybe feeling into your body as well. How does your body feel? A lot of twists, quite a few standing poses on one leg with the eagle. Maybe your legs are almost like vibrating a little bit with the energy, with warm. Maybe your legs feel heavy and tired from the work. Whatever it is, it is fine. Just witnessing and accepting our bodies and our minds. We lie here and breathe for a couple of moments. Slowly arrive back into your body and in this moment. Maybe take a deeper breath. If you want, you can exhale with a sigh. Maybe one more deep breath. And exhale with a sigh if that felt good. Bring your feet together to touch, stretching your arms out overhead. Pointing your toes and stretching like crazy. And release. Hugging your knees into your chest and rocking from side to side. Little back massage. And rolling onto the side, putting ideally the right side, but whatever side, putting your head on the upper arm as a pillow. Other hand in front of you for support, and then inhale and exhale, we're pushing into that hand for coming up. And because we've been stretching our feet, if you want, let's sit kneeling again with our toes tucked, because it's cruel. One more time. And sit here, just closing our eyes and sitting here with our, you could get your block again and place that under our knees, or maybe knees on the floor, whatever's good, or on your pillow. Let's just sit here with our eyes closed for a few moments. Stretching our toe joints, our Achilles heel again. hands can be in your lap or in prayer and heart center, wherever you want them. You can place your hands on your shoulders, crossing your hands, your forearms over. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's rock forward, untucking our toes, sitting, kneeling here. And inhale, let's make a nice big circle with our arms. Up, and exhale, pulling our hands down. Let's bring our thumbs to the space between our eyebrows, to our third eye for clear and kind thoughts. Thumbs to our throat for clear and kind words. And thumbs to our heart center for clear and kind feelings for others and for ourselves. If you want, bow with gratitude to the practice of yoga and gratitude to ourselves for moving today. Well done, everyone. I hope you had fun.